There are philosophers who try to explain the world, and there are those who expose it. Arthur Schopenhauer did not build systems. He broke illusions. He looked into the human soul and said, "What you want will never make you happy, and what you run from will never stop chasing you." He did not offer hope. He offered clarity. Not a better future, but a more honest present. In a world that told you to follow your dreams, he asked, "What happens when you catch them?" Arthur Schopenhauer was born in 1788 in Danzig. His father was a wealthy merchant. His mother was a novelist. But he was never drawn to comfort. He was drawn to truth, even when it was cruel. He studied Kant. He admired the East. He believed that behind everything we see, there is something deeper, something wild. He called it the will. He lived alone, doubted often, published works few read in his lifetime. But decades later, he was remembered not as a failure, but as the philosopher who dared to say, that suffering is not the exception. It is the rule. According to Schopenhauer, the world we live in is just a representation, a shadow play of appearances, but behind it, there is a force. He called it the will, not reason, not logic, but a blind and aimless energy that wants for the sake of wanting. It is the reason we desire, the reason we strive, the reason we suffer. You want something, you fight for it, you get it, and then you want something else. This cycle never ends, because the will never rests. And you are not separate from it. You are it. For Schopenhauer, desire is not a path to joy. It is the root of misery. Every time you want something, you are in pain. And when you get it, the relief is brief. Then comes boredom. Then comes the next desire. It is a prison with invisible bars, a hunger that feeds itself. He did not say this to make you give up. He said it to wake you up. The world tells you that more is better, that achievement brings peace. But if peace can only come from the absence of desire, then chasing more is chasing fire with fuel. Schopenhauer had little faith in love. He saw it not as romance, but as a trick of nature. We think we are choosing, but we are being used by the will to continue the species. We fall in love, not for happiness, but because biology wants us to reproduce. We are puppets with warm hearts, but the strings are cold. This does not mean love is worthless, but it means we should look at it without illusion. To Schopenhauer, the tragedy of love is not that it ends, but that it was never ours to begin with. What we call the world is just our mind interpreting data. Our eyes, our memory, our language. We do not see things as they are. We see them as we are. The world is not objective. It is filtered, shaped, skewed. This is not a call to despair. It is a call to humility. We live in dreams made of matter and suffer from the belief that they are solid. What if the truth is not something to find, but something to unsee? If you believe that happiness is your right, you will always feel cheated. Schopenhauer argued that happiness is not something to pursue. It is an absence, a moment without pain. True joy, if it exists, is not loud. It is quiet, almost invisible. But most people do not want silence. They want excitement, stimulation, victory. They chase happiness like a child chases a balloon, always one step ahead, always ready to pop. To Schopenhauer, the pursuit of happiness is the cleverest lie the will ever told. There is one moment where the will loses its grip, When you are lost in music, in beauty, in thought, you forget to want. Schopenhauer believed that art is not decoration, it is liberation. A great painting, a powerful symphony, they pull you outside the prison of desire, even if just for a moment. In those moments, you are not a consumer, not a slave, you are just a witness. That is not escape, that is clarity. Schopenhauer did not preach rebellion, he preached release. Not in the form of violence, but in the form of surrender. To stop pretending, to stop chasing, to stop lying to yourself. Some called him a pessimist, but he was something else. He was a man who saw the fire, and instead of running toward it, he sat down in the dark and let his eyes adjust. Schopenhauer did not promise you joy, he promised you truth. He said life is hard, desire is endless, pain is constant, but still, you can choose how to see it, how to carry it, how to step into the day anyway. He did not give you a map, he gave you a mirror. And if you look closely, you might not see hope, but you will see honesty. And sometimes, that is enough.